Hi, my name is Saleena, and I am the creator of Novelty, a blog all about the struggles and joys of novel writing. Today, I will be talking about how to start a novel. This video is for anyone who is writing a novel, or is thinking about writing a novel, or is interested in writing and would like to know more about novel writing. If you are one of these people, or if you are curious as to how to start a novel, then please keep on watching. I have been writing for 6 to 7 years now, and I have struggled a lot with completing any major project I start. Admittedly, I have yet to finish a novel, but over the years I have devised processes that have really helped me down the path toward completing my very first novel. The document that you see on the screen right now was the very first draft of my very first novel attempt. I talk about this in a recent blog post on Novelty. I'll link the blog post in the description below if you'd like to take a look at it, but basically the project was called Mercy's Fall. Over the years, I've had about 6 to 7 very different versions of this incomplete novel, and I think each version documents my development as a writer pretty well. When I began this first version, I had an idea, a seed so ready to sprout I couldn't help but get right into it. I became so excited I began writing right away. As you can see, I wrote 35 pages and 14,518 words. After the completion of Chapter 7, however, I ran out of steam and my story came to a screeching halt. This is when I began outlining. An outline is a plan or description of a project that one writes before beginning the actual piece of work. I like to think of it as the blueprint of your novel. An outline can be super extensive and detailed, including dialogue and descriptions you will use directly in your novel, or it can just be a brief synopsis of what you'd like to include in each chapter. It honestly depends on what works best for your novel and your writing process. The more you outline, the more you'll find out what works best for you. So, how do you write an outline? Just like with a novel, an outline starts with that seed, the idea. You can get ideas from anywhere, a walk, a prompt, a dream. You can be sitting at your computer watching some Netflix and an idea can come into your head seemingly out of nowhere. Once you have your idea, you need to think about where you see it going. I usually think about where I will start and where I will end. Now, my job is to figure out everything in between. Starting from the beginning is the most easy. However, if working backwards works the best for you, go right ahead. Now that you know your beginning and your end, start at Chapter 1 or the prologue. Ask yourself questions such as, where is my main character? Where does he or she live? Does the story begin there, or does it begin somewhere else? Do I want my story to start with action and conflict, or do I want a more chill beginning? How many perspectives will I have in my story? And if I have more than one, which perspective will I begin with? This very last question is the most important one to consider. Does this make sense? It is imperative that everything in your story makes sense both logically and in the context of your novel. Once you have general answers to these questions, start writing what you'd like to include in each chapter. Start from Chapter 1, then ask yourself, what next? Write the answer in Chapter 2. Keep on going until you reach the end. At the end of your outline, you should have a general idea as to how many chapters you will have and what will happen throughout your novel. Keep in mind that chapters are for organizations. Sometimes they are unnecessary. There are many well-written novels that don't use chapters to organize their stories at all, like Virginia Woolf's Mrs. Dalloway. Instead, she uses sections and differences in focalization to organize a story. An outline is a way to figure all this stuff out. If you find that chapters aren't working for you, change it up. Modify your outline to your novel. As every novel is different, every outline is different as well. An important thing to keep in mind is that outlines are not set in stone. They just make starting a novel a whole lot less intimidating. They help give you an idea of where your novel is going and where you would like to end up. Once you write, everything just might change, and that's completely okay. Let your writing, your characters, and your world lead you where they may, and don't fight it because your outline says something else. Be flexible and don't stick too closely to your outline if it isn't working out. Art is funny like that. Sometimes it just can't be constrained. I think that's what makes it the most beautiful. Outlines have helped me reach many milestones in my writing career. With the help of outlines, Mercy's Fall went from 35 pages to 154 pages, from 14,518 words to 59,189 words. While they haven't completely solved my struggles with completing a novel, they have been integral to any novel I have ever started and every novel I will ever create. I hope this video has helped you in any way. If you would like to follow my journey with novel writing, please go to noveltiesblog.wordpress.com and stay for the ride. Thanks for listening.